This is your city, your station, Sydney's 2UE. And now, here's Justin Smith.
Well, good afternoon and welcome along. It has been 40 years since the Rubik's Cube was invented. A big regret in life is that I never took the time to try and work it out. However, you would have heard just before 3 o'clock with Dicko and Sarah, we got Steve in. Steve is one of our production whizzes here at 2UE. He can do it. It took him 12 minutes. However, surely at some point somebody can do it just a little quicker than that. As I said before, riveting radio, listening to someone do the Rubik's Cube. But if somebody can brag about doing it quicker, what is the record? The record's pretty small. Well, have a check. I think it's something like about 4 or 5 seconds. It's extraordinary. 40 years since the Rubik's Cube. Yes, you can keep all your video games. The old-fashioned Rubik's Cube will still drive you crazy. And forget the budget detail. Tony Abbott has committed the worst of all political sins today. He has elevated the opposition leader in the polls and elevated the opposition leader in the polls without the opposition leader doing anything at all to earn it. Now, there are 2 polls out today. Both of them say the same thing. And both of them are ruddy awful for the government. Oh, look, we'll have a look at those a little later on. But this is a sin that can't go unmentioned. Bill Shorten gave you one of the weakest responses to a budget that we have ever seen. It is said that this was the toughest budget in 20 years. Well, surely this is the worst response in 50. But here's the irony. Tony Abbott managed to win government in much the same fashion from the unpopular fumblings of Rudd and Gillard. But reading today's paper, Bill Shorten has won the Ironman triathlon without cycling, swimming or running. He calls it a triumph. That is politics in Australia and has been for quite a while, is you just stand there and you slipstream. Well, actually, you don't stand there and slipstream. You move and you slipstream. And you just hope that everybody else just absolutely collapses and wears themselves out, and then you just happen to slide across the finish line. It has just become politics in Australia. It's a sad old lookout, but welcome to the time of focus groups and instant polls and web polls and phone polls, and that's how you run things these days.